will be.
Recording is in progress.
Great, perfect. Okay. So let me see. I do have host privileges. Great, thank you. Cool. So what we're getting started on today is the consumer aspect of Command. So with that, we're going to be working on things with your website, things with the consumer app, and just kind of how the face of your business appears through Command to the public. So let me just make sure we hit everything on this real quick before we start. We're recording. Anything from last Thursday that you guys want to follow up on, any questions that we've got? I don't think, let me see the chat. You have to excuse me. I do have a little bit of a cold today. Okay, nothing in the chat.
That chat covered for you, Ruth. Nothing's in there right now.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Okay, so what we've got so far is you should be kind of like working with smart plans. You should have a few contacts, hopefully at least minimum 20. We aim for 100 in your contacts, and that you've got smart plans attached to all of them. So you've got automatic, part of your 36 touch going out, you've got automatic marketing going out there. And then the main things we're going to be working on is the consumer app today, which hopefully you've downloaded that to your phone. If not, we can walk through that. And then we're going to be working on your website and making sure you're sharing out from there. So let's go ahead and start with the app. Now I don't have, David, I don't know if you do, but I don't have that plugin here in my home office. If you do, then maybe we can share that out. So the thing that you're going to be looking for is, if you go into your settings, did we lose audio? Hang on.
You were muted for a second. I was trying to somebody and I
was
muted.
gonna say, because I saw it on there, but then I was like, wait a minute, I didn't mute myself. Okay. So you're going to go into your app store and you're going to search, and this is going to be like a really funky way of doing it, but you're going to search KW consumer. And I'm going to show you what that looks like. If hopefully you can see, this is a terrible way of doing it, but it's this one right here. You're looking for the KW consumer one, and then we do have the regular KW app that's available as well.
We're just seeing your contacts page at this, or your dashboard at this point.
Okay, let me see. I don't know why I'm struggling. Can you see me now?
Let's see. Do you want me to bring my screen up?
Yeah, do you want to can you show them, do you have the attachment at your home office where you can share your home screen?
I do.
Okay, great. Because I was saying that's the one plugin I don't have from my home office, and I'm zooming from my home office today.
Not a problem. I'll bring up my, let me share my screen real quick in 1 second.
And the answer in the chat to Bella is yes, it's red. You're looking for the red one. The blue app is your Kelly app, which is kind of like, if you think about the Kelly app, you can think of it more like a glorified pager system. The KW app, and that's all it's called now, is KW app or Command app. That one is the one that's going to give you your updates and things like that the way you want to see it now. So we're going to talk about that today. David's going to attach his cell phone screen and share out to you guys so you guys can see what we're talking about without me going like this in my screen all the time and showing you my cell phone, because that kind of gets a little
I'm probably connecting at this second.
That's okay. Let's just make sure we've got the apps downloaded for right now. So what we're looking for right now is that you're searching in your KW consumer store, or in your, see, this is my cold. I've got the worst fuzzy brain today. So you're looking in your app store for the KW consumer app, and it's going to say buy and sell real estate. And it's red letters. And this is the one that you're looking for. So we're downloading this, and this is the one that you're going to be sharing out to your consumer platform. So that's the first one that you're going to download. And the second one is a new one. And it's like the reverse of what you just, the colors are reverse of exactly what you just downloaded. So it's a red background with white KW. And that's the command app. So it says KW command. And that one's for you. So there's one for the agent side where you're going to be checking on your systems, and there's one for the consumer side where people can shop for real estate. Let's see. Yay! Now you can see what from David's standpoint.
So you should have
Mhm.
KW. And command.
Mhm.
We're doing the consumer app, so it should have this.
Right. So this one here, yeah, it might be better, David, if you want to talk a little bit about this one.
Yeah, not a problem. So this
Okay.
is your consumer app. So remember, the consumer app is what? It's not for you, it's for your consumer, right? So this is their search portal now. However, the great thing about this is that everything they do on the mobile app, if they're downloaded and branded to you, you're able to track their activity through your command platform. And that's ultimately what you want, right? The days of them sending you links from third-party platforms, I like this property, I like that property. You've got to encourage them to utilize your platform because that streamlines the communication and clarity. Because a lot of times when they send you things from other platforms, they're already gone, right? The other platforms, the Pillows of the world, the data that's there, they're just in the brokerage at this point. So you have to encourage them to use your system, right? So let's, before we even jump into utilization, under your more button on your platform, you should be branded to yourself, right? Remember, you have to create an account because the platform doesn't know you're you, right? So you see that actually Connor Donaldson, because I created my son as my test case, and I branded me to his agent just for clarity for myself, right? So you can connect your profile to your dummy account. That's step one. Then once you have it, you've got this ability to share the app. And when you click share the app, what's going to happen, it's going to open up on your native device and ask you to text message somebody, right? So if I click text, right, this is going to come up and I'm going to have this verbiage that's going to default into a text message. And it says, and it's a little wonky, but basically says, I use the my agent, David Donaldson, because it's your consumer sharing. It's not you sharing. So it talks about you in the third person, which people get confused about. So you can always update this text message before it goes out. The most important part of the text message is this code. That code is specific to you, the realtor, that when they click on that link, it'll download a mobile app for them and it'll automatically brand them to you, the realtor. That's the difference. The first time you downloaded your app, you had to go find yourself, okay? That's one way people can do these things. Once they're getting shared, you share this code, they click on that link and they download it, it'll automatically brand you to them and they don't have to go find, nor they shouldn't have to anyways. Pause that, that's usually the most clarifying difference for people is that. Does that make sense to everybody on how you share and what that looks like? So what I do in the past is I don't necessarily share from my mobile app this way. I have actually I text through Facebook a lot. I've got a lot of great downloads from Facebook where I'll just take this code, I'll copy it, I'll create a little message, right? And paste it through Facebook. Say, hey, Joe, this is my mobile app. Click this link and download it. It works wherever you are in the world. We're adding more and more countries, et cetera, et cetera. It'll brand you to me and I'll always know what I need to know. You can sync with me information about the property. The one-on-one request for downloads will always work best, whether it's text or Facebook or whatever, versus just having a download me on your email signature. It doesn't happen. If you do bulk, it doesn't happen. The one-on-one is where your success is going to be. So play around with this, get this out to your friends and family. You could even say, hey, and I do this a lot too. Hey, we're utilizing a new mobile app and I wanted you to be one of the first people that had it to kind of be one of my beta partners. Let me know what you think. Share this with your friends and family. Let me know what they think because we're always working to make it better. People like to feel special, right? So be honest and open about what you're doing with them because it is still beta-ish, right? And get their feedback on it. Any questions on sharing the app? You good there?
I was answering in the chat for you too. Yeah.
Oh, awesome. So when you come back to the app, right, you've got search. Now this works as it should, like most people are used to, right? They can view, they can change their layers. They can draw on the screen, right? There's nothing in that particular area, right? They can filter. They could change for sale, pendings coming soon, new construction. They could search, turn on and off search for rent, right? The default is to turn that off, okay? They could change by price, set minimums and maximums. They can filter by property type, houses, apartments, condos, right? They can change that. And then on the more filters where you're gonna see bedrooms, bathrooms, square footage, your built, if they want to see open houses, right? It'll show up with a little green calendar on there. Price reductions is always great, right? Just gonna clear out, come back. Then once they see properties, I'm just gonna zoom in an area a little bit bigger so I can see some properties, not a lot going on in my local area. As you move the screen, it kind of keeps the updating. I can even change. So one thing to know is that when they're searching, so let me just put in a zip code, right? So if you start searching, it'll filter by addresses first, then zip codes. Then it drops into an area. Now, if I like a property in a particular area and I click on it, right, I can see those properties. I can see the details about the property. The pictures will be there. Understand I'm streaming, so it's a little laggy. I can like by hitting heart. Now, that's the engagement that you guys are looking for. When they start liking and hearting properties, that's what you're tracking, right? When they start clicking in, liking, and then they do what's called a collection, you see those things inside a command. It comes back to you, right? And they can filter them out. Say, hey, are they apartment, home, or they investment, right? I can stick them into categories. They can write notes. And save. That comes back to the contact record, right? See the little love there? They have save. They can change their displays from map view to list view. Come back home. There's another cool, you guys should be playing with all these things and getting comfortable, right? I'll change my view just so you guys can see something here. Check this out. So if you use two fingers and you do a little pop down or a pop up, the display changes, right? There's the flat view and then there's a two-dimensional view. So you can actually see property elevations if there's obstructive views, right? Or if there are buildings in the area, just kind of a cool little usage that a lot of people don't know about. And the agents don't know that they can share it with the people. So I always love that view. That's pretty cool, right? You can also search, now, like I said, you can search by address. I could search by school district. That's now in there. Oh, actually, it's not up there, updated yet. That's on school district. That's right. It is. Search by school districts. That's a new release, right? Oh, my phone's dying. Loudoun County School District. People love to search by school district, right? School districts were challenging because certain areas like Virginia, school districts are very large. Other areas, school districts are by each high school, so very small. Another way to search, they can create safe searches around that. And then when they look, they have their guides across the bottom, which is something that we'll talk about where you guys can build out, which is their step-by-step process of what happens during the transaction. In their news feed, once they have saved searches, they'll be able to see updates around their saved searches that'll be in their news feed. And then under more, you'll see that they can have a co-buyer. So they could be sharing properties with somebody else, or significant other. They can set their notifications, right? They can have what are called push notifications, which is awesome. Every time I get an update that meets a match, I get a little ping on my phone, right? I get a little red dot notification. I can always look at my history. What have I looked at? Oh, that's buggy right now on my end because I'm streaming. They can get an affordability calculator. How much can I afford on a property? I can get quotes on insurance and mortgages on a particular property. I can share the app and then they can sign out. And you should be on version 8.0. So very quick because we have 1 hour. Any questions on the app?
Doesn't look like anyone has any questions right
All
now.
right, back to you, Ruth.
Okay, thanks. All right. So the one question we did get was, wait a minute, so then how do I get that link? Like if I want to put that in Facebook or I want to put it somewhere else, how do I get that link? So the page that we're looking at right now, we are under consumer. I guess I should probably just double check. If you need to make sure anything is correct with your marketing profile, so that things are syncing correctly out to your consumer pages, you do want to quick double check back to the orientation, or I can just show you very quickly in the upper right-hand corner, you're going to click on settings. And then from here, you're going to go to connect settings over on the left-hand side, drop down to marketing profile. And we just want to double check that all of this information on this page is correct. You do want to turn this little green dot on. You can see when it's off. And then green is when it's on. Okay. So use your information to brand your agent site. Your photo, your team logo, you can just, even if you're not on a team, you can still use your KW logo because it's going to show up on your webpage right next to your profile. If you're not on a team, you can also put right here, we do get questions about this, professional real estate agent or realtor, just right there. And then your designations right here. So you just want to scan through everything here and make sure your contact information is correct, because this is what's going to be used on your consumer platforms and on your website. So this is how people find you. If you have that military affiliation, make sure you go ahead and click that on. You would select which way you're affiliated with the military, and then the branches will pop open after that. So you can choose the branch. Your bio, obviously all of your personal contact information for people to get in touch with you. You want to make sure that the email address right here is the email where you are going to be receiving emails from your website or from your app. So make sure that is correct. And, or if you're going to use that KW one, but you receive emails somewhere else, make sure you're mail forwarding and you're actually receiving emails to the address that you're forwarding to, so you don't lose any leads along the way. Here's your marketing information. You do need to make sure your broker information is correct, specifically in the state of Virginia. You know what we've got a lot of different rules about how that works and how your market center wants to be displayed. And then again, at the bottom, all your social media links. So then you'll just save that and we can move forward into the consumer app. So any questions on that really quick? That was like a 2-second, make sure it's all correct. So do we have any questions on making sure that your marketing information is correct in there? Good. Okay.
Good.
All right, because we do cover that over and over and over again. I just want to make sure everyone is clear on that's exactly where you're going to do any updates. So if you ever change a phone number, an email address, anything like that, you want to go in there and make sure that's all straightened out. Okay, so the main thing that we're popping onto first are your agent site pages. These are your main pages for your website. You have some default ones that are kind of pre-built in there, and then you can add additional pages if you would like to. That's going to be under landing pages. So if you want to go first, we're going to start with your site and app settings. What I did was from my agent page right here, I slid all the way over to the right-hand side, and we're going to work on your settings. So once again, you've got this little button up here in the upper left-hand corner turned on, use my information to brand my agent site. And these are your general settings right here. So your hero, your agent site hero text, this is when someone comes to your page, your consumer page, that they can see this word right here, this verbiage, find your dream home. So you can customize that any way you want it to be, but this, so you know, if you ever want to flip back and forth, it's always a good idea to test your website as you're going along.
What are you buying on Etsy there, Ruth? You getting
Where do you
something?
see it? Oh no. This is what happens when you work on your home computer. That's a Christmas gift for my husband because I have no idea what to get him. So yeah, I was like Googling stuff for his new grill. So if anyone's been kind of keeping up with our conversations in the regional stuff, my husband built a brand new outdoor custom grill kitchen thing this year. So okay, so here you see it says find your dream home, period. That's exactly what I've got set right here. So this is how you can kind of go back and forth, and you can make sure everything's actually popping up correctly on your web page. If you want to change these background photos out, you definitely can. It tells you the size that you can do them right here. So 1200 by 1200, and you can upload up to 5 different images. So if you want to go on to like canva.com or something like that and switch out those different background images, I believe you can even do it in the designs aspect in Command as well, so that you can kind of customize that for the holidays or seasonal. If you're into that kind of stuff, that's where you would do it. You just upload those there.
And I do recommend that you do it because all the market centers, all the agents have the same photos, right?
Yeah.
So they're use Canva. There's actually a website called Pexels, PEXELS.com, which has some great free stuff. Like free is the important thing, right? If you do a Google search for free stock, you're going to end up on Getty, which charges you. Always use free. And then once you start taking listings, let your photographer know that you're looking for specific pictures to add to your website so they can format them. Obviously, they're going to come in high def pictures anyways. But utilize those. That's the best way. That'll be unique to you. But these are generic and everybody has them. So I do recommend that you replace them.
Yeah, and you can drop like your realtor information, your name, your logo. You can like customize all those pictures so that when they're running through on your website, like people actually are constantly being reminded, you know, this is Dave Donaldson with, I don't know what your team's called, Dave, but you know, like you can see Dave Donaldson, his team name, Keller Williams Real Estate. So that's really just kind of a good idea. And I like that tip, David, to ask your photographer. I don't know how many of you guys use like videos or drone footage when you're doing your listing photos, but if you can get any of that kind of stuff on there and it's very specific to your geographical area, that would be like a beautiful way to customize those images. So you're not getting the same thing all the time. Your landing page, this is your app. When you download the app, it's going to say welcome, blah, blah, blah. I have mine set. So it says, welcome, I'm your realtor, Ruth Laskowski. You can say anything, obviously, that you want to say on that. And then save your changes here. Oh, and then virtual tours and listings. If you would like to add any listings, this is how you do it. If you currently got some on the market, you can search by property address. So let me see, there's one we just put live this morning. Let's see if it's going to come up. It's not my listing, so I don't know if I can do it from here.
Hit the search button.
No, it literally just went live like 5 minutes ago. So that's probably why it's not
You're looking at about a half hour for them to catch up.
Yeah. So we just put that one in. That was why it was fresh on my mind. But if you're going to be searching for a listing, give me, I don't know, someone give me another address that we can pull in here.
Just grab one off the website.
Go to Rain. Well, no, let's do, I'm trying to think of a live address right now.
Will it show up if it went under contract this weekend?
Yeah.
2921 Seashore. What is it? 2921 Seashore Point.
It's looking point. This is always fun when you do something live and then it takes a really long time and starts spooling on you.
You should know better than that.
Right? I'm like, why did I even push this button right now? Like, yep, there you go. It's not going to pull it up for me today. I promise you it does work, but as soon as I go live and I try to show you that it's working, it's not working for me.
Of course, it's Monday.
So that's where you would pull your listings in right there. And you're going to save your changes after that. So that's your general setting. URLs, we'll go into this because this is what people were asking about in the chat feed. This is your subdomain for your actual web page. If you're going to ever change your URL for your web page, make sure that you change it here and mykw.kw.com. Because when you start changing things here and you don't change it from the top down, we have glitches and then your website doesn't work. So you're going to go all the way back to your original page when you're setting everything up from mykw.kw.com. There's a section in there where you claim your domain name, and then you're going to straighten it down all the way. I've had a couple different agents in the past few months where they'll change it here, but they don't change it everywhere else, and then it doesn't work whatsoever. And then here's the big question that people were asking is, where is that little code, that app URL for people to download? It's right here. So, and it's unique to you. Everyone has their own little app code. So make sure that when you download this and you set your agents to yourself, this is the one that you are using to share out to your consumer platform, whether it's via email or social media. And like David said, the best way to get people to actually download that app is to do it like one-on-one, not just a very generic, like, oh, I put it on Facebook and I have no idea why no one's not downloading this thing. Like, you have to engage with people, send it personally in a text, not just a mass communication text, and asking people to search for houses like that. That way you're not losing them to third-party sites. And what you said as well about people, I know you just love it when you get every other website under the sun and you're sending them stuff in their email already, but then they're sending you stuff from like third-party sites, Zillow, Trulia, Homes.com, all those different ones. And the home's not available anymore. It's already been sold, it's already under contract. So this is kind of the better way to try to get people. And then you're the agent of choice when they're searching for a home, and they're not getting some random pop-up agent when they're on those other sites. So this would be the best way to go ahead and copy that. You can share it, like I said, in an email and a text message. You can share it personally with people. It's really handy when it's already on your phone to be able to just share it out to the person next to you. And one of the ways that I do it, so if you're going to share it out in a text message, yes, it does pop up and it says, use the KW app to search for homes with my agent, Ruth, and it talks in third party. So I do change out the verbiage a little bit when I send it. But what it does is when you're sending that text message, if you don't already know the person, you're getting their phone number. So you hand them your phone, you say, hey, you just put your phone number in here, then and then save that person. So that's kind of handy when you're out socially to be able to develop not just like the relationship with them, but then also collect some of their personal information so you can continue to market to them over time.
2 additional tips that you can do there, and we're going to talk about domain names here in a minute, but when you purchase your own domain name, right, you have some forwarding capabilities. So Ruth, type this in a new tab real quick. app.daviddonaldson.net.
Do you want this symbol or the word?
The word.
@David Donaldson.
App.
Sorry. It's my this lovely cold. Dot what?
Net. So what I've done is I took that app kate.kw/my code, because I can never remember what my code is.
Mm-hmm.
Once I purchased my own domain, which was daviddonaldson.net, I just set up a forward, which is free once I own the domain, and I created app dot, which is what we call a subdomain, right? And now I always remember app.daviddonaldson.net versus my code. And you see that actually just it redirects to my code page, which is the landing page. So you can create a custom domain that you'll remember. So it's easy to share if you're ever just talking to somebody. And 2, now what I want you to do, Ruth, is click on the 3 Chrome ellipses or dots or meatballs on the right, or I'm sorry, right click on this page for me.
So is that what you wanted me to do?
Yeah, that's what I want. So once you go, so whether you create a mobile version subdomain, like I told you, 2, you can create a QR code for your page, any page, by right clicking and generate this QR code. You save that, and then it becomes scannable. So you save that on your phone, right? And then so you just have somebody scan that, and it'll be a downloader page for your website, your app. Sorry.
Right. So yeah, that's smart. That's really smart.
Thank you. I appreciate it. That means a lot coming from that's a lot coming from you, Ruth. I appreciate that.
That's a good tip. I like that. Because the QR code stuff, I'm always preaching to the choir about that one, because it's so easy to just hold that up and let people scan it. I guess if you downloaded that QR code to your phone, you could just hold that up and have a consumer scan that as well, like scan your own phone, kind of the way you share your Instagram. You guys know how to do that, where you hold up a QR code and people can instantly follow you. You could kind of do it like that too. So smart. Featured listings, moving on, there's featured listings, and this is where you're going to put your listings on your website. I'm almost afraid to do this again, but we're going to do it again. So what you want to make sure of is when you're putting the listings in there, if you're searching for them, like if you're on a team and it doesn't populate yours, you're going to look for all listings. And then you can type in the property address and select a listing to be put onto your website. So people can shop for homes on the listings that you currently have there. And again, any ways that you want to change the featured taglines or headlines on your website, this is where you're going to be changing it. So if you want it to say, I don't know, newest listings or just listed or something like that, then you can change out your verbiage right there. And then to delete them, obviously you click on the trash can and you can delete it, which I should delete that one because that one's old and it's already sold. Themes, you can go with a red theme or a dark theme, one or the other. That's all it is. That's your choice. Right now I'm on the dark theme. And then your agent site pages. These are the pages when you have the drop down on your website. So if we come back over, where was mine? Right here. These are the pages that are available, and then my social media logins right there. Okay, so if you want to add another page or you want to change up what you've got going on right here, this is where you would change those pages out. And that's where they are. And I believe you can order them. So like if contact us, this is the first thing that people see, right? If you wanted to say contact me or get in touch with such and such team, this is where you can change those different things right in there so that it would, I keep going back to Dave's app page, so that it would show up right here.
That's all right. You can download my app. Go ahead.
I don't need any more apps on my phone. And then your description right there, your SEO description, you're important to me. Let's make an appointment today. And here you are. All of those, that's exactly where you would change it, if that makes sense. Okay, and then you're going to save all of that. So back to the very beginning, this is the order of the pages. Those are the ones that you've got. If you want to configure your site, we can go here, but I'm going to go over to landing pages for just a minute and show you what the landing pages are. These are additional pages that you might be running for a short period of time on a particular topic. And you can use these links to direct traffic. So like if you're running something during, I don't know, the summer, and you're trying to drive listings and you want to do, click here now to get a complimentary listing guide. And then you direct them to your landing page. They can type in their email address and you can send them out a listing guide for them, or a buyer's guide, or just, you get the drift. Like if you're running something special or there's some piece of information, I like to call them freemiums, free premium information. This is where you would direct people on your web page, and you can create a little page separately right there for that. And then the guide builder right here, I just want to run through all these tabs and then we can dive into how to build out your site. The guide builder right here is the one that Dave was mentioning. When people go to your app, this is what they're going to be seeing. So this is the buyer's guide. It's kind of pre-built a little bit, and it walks you through what the steps you would take in buying a home. So if you want to edit these or reorder them, that's how you would just come in here and do it. You can add another step if you want to add another step in the process. I left mine pretty generic. And that's just how I kept it in here. So again, like if you want to.
Yeah, some of the steps, there's a couple things where I recommend updating is one, always take a look at the pictures, make sure the pictures are specific to where you live. Like one of the pictures, I forget if it's on the buyer guide or the seller guide, it's very Miami-ish, right? So I recommend, and again, I updated some of these pictures to reflect things that I've done, transactions and things like that. So you can swap out these pictures. 2, you can add steps. Now you can get too detailed, so I'd be careful of that. However, I did add a step right around getting pre-approved, but I also have on the buyer step, like agent representation, right? Buyer broker agreements. I talk about the importance of why you should have something like that, because I think that's something that's easily missed. So if you build that into the workflow, like this is something you have to do, then you're taking the thought process away from them.
Mhm.
Don't need to go too micro, but think through what the process looks like and what are the top things that people do when either buying or selling in sequential order.
Mhm. Yep. Okay, so that's both sides of that. This is your introduction page. This is your timeline. This is what pops up right here. And then people would push get started with that. So that's your buyer side. I'm going to go slide back out.
And remember, so they only see these buyer and seller guides on the website and the app once they've created an account. If they're on a page and they don't have an account, they don't see this.
I think this is what you're talking about, David, showing a home with the.
Yes, that house, I've changed that house out to one of the houses that I represented. Because it was Miami-ish, right? That doesn't
Right.
feel like it fits in me. So when you click on that, you can, so if you were just to click on showing your home there, it'll open up an editing bar on the right-hand side where you can swap out the pictures and the content. I don't mess around with contact, the information, because it's pretty good.
Right,
I swap out some of those pictures.
right. So that's where the guide builder is. That's where this is what people are seeing in your app. So again, if you want to go to any of that and change out what people are seeing in the app, that's where you're going to go. And you can reorder them. Like we said, if you want to change the text of it, you can. I'm a little leery of changing too much of the text on there, but you can definitely do that. So let's go back to your agent site pages and then let's talk about configuring your site. So we're going to click continue, configure your site, and I want to use the new KW agent sites. These are previous ones. If you had Placeitter, you can use it. I think it's gone now. Yes, David. Unless you've paid for the account. It used to be, you had like the e-edge ones and the old ones.
None
like
of those
that.
are there anymore. So just, you're going to use a KW and said, those
Yeah.
other options need to come off of there. There are no other options.
Yeah. I hesitate talking about them because I don't want you to.
Now, doesn't mean you can't go out and purchase a standalone website. You can do that. I don't recommend that, especially for new agents. It's not necessary.
Right.
And
It's not letting me configure today.
if you own the photography, you can use it. You don't need a disclaimer or disclosure from your clients because you sold them the property to use photographs of their property. Now, exterior wise, or I try to keep them as generic as possible. Whether it's zoomed in or exterior, I usually don't worry about it too much. But if you wanted permission, you could ask, say, hey, I'm going to feature property on my website and show them the pictures. If you were more comfortable in doing that, that's okay.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so for some reason, it's not letting me configure. It's saying I'm all set, which I guess I just should.
Because you are set. Yours is already
do
launched.
this.
It's
Let
not
me do
gonna-
this.
Yeah.
Let me just do this. So we're going to create a new page, and I'm going to walk you through this generically on how this works. So here's your new page right here. You might want to name the page. I'm calling it new page for today, just so that I don't lose it and I want to delete it when I'm done. And I'm just going to walk through the elements of this. So your widgets, all these little elements, these are what you've already preset when you started doing your marketing profile. So like your team, your agent profile, when you drop this in here, this is everything that you've already preset in your marketing profile. So if that's incorrect, then you need to go back there and redo your bio or your contact information, because it needs to come over that same way. Here's the contact form. You can just drop all of these in here. Download my app. And then if you want to move these around, you click on it, and I'm going to shuffle this one up. Did it want to go for me? Oh, I love it when it doesn't work when I say that, oh, this is just how you do it. Okay, let's move you down or up. There we go. So if you click on any of your widgets, then this is how you would slide them around. Or if I want my KW one, my profile one to be at the top, that's how you slide them around in there. Then your content blocks, if you want to add anything extra in here, let's say you want to add an image or you want to add additional text information, that's where you would add things that don't already exist. And then here is where you can upload a picture or something like that to your profile, if you're looking to try to do that on here. Back to widgets. These are your text, your body and your text in here. If you want to come in here and edit any of this stuff, then this is where you would do it. And then configure your widgets, your contact information. This is where you're going to edit any of this stuff here. So you can enter, change out, contact us. We'd love to be in contact with you. Are you looking to buy or sell? This little message in here, this is where all of this information applies, if that makes sense.
So is there anybody on here? So she's showing you how to edit the pages that are already there, right?
Mhm.
So when you first launched the website, what she was trying to, there's actually under site, hey, Ruth, would you come out the site and app settings for me real quick?
No, don't save any of that. I don't want to create a new page.
Good. So really what I want you to do, if you haven't launched your website, you see where it says learn more with Kelly guides?
Mhm.
That's your step-by-step walkthrough. If you click on that, click agent site, continue. What this is it's going to bring you to, it's going to say we're leaving, and it's going to bring you to a setup page. And at the bottom of that, you can click get started. The first thing it's going to ask you to do is create a domain name for yourself. And basically it's a subdomain. You'll see Ruth's name here at ruth.kw.com. So your website, your agent website is actually a subdomain off of kw.com. So what I want you to do here is put your name in that box, right? daviddonaldson.kw.com, right? Or Ruth at kw or .kw.com.
Right.
Don't get fancy. Don't be number one. We talked about this before, right? Be you, right? Even if you're on a team, use your name, because that branding, that search capability is going to help you out in the long run. So that you're choosing to confirm the domain name. And then you walk through these couple of pages and it's going to ask you for information. As you're scrolling down, your bio will pull, assuming your bio is already completed, which it should be at this point.
Right.
Uploading your pictures will automatically pull from your marketing page, which will also be there. And then it's going to have these 3 default pages, which will be about your office, about you, or contact you.
Mhm.
First time you do these pages, you want to do it here, and it'll launch your website. Your website will be ready to go, literally a matter of minutes,
Mhm.
and your consumers will be able to feature. All those other things that she showed you are editing capability.
Yeah, I was actually showing them how to build out more pages. It was probably a little too far down the road. But yeah,
Right. That's why I just wanted to bring it back and make sure that, hey, this is how you set it up first.
yes. I was
There's
showing you how to build out
there's
pages.
absolutely the need for landing pages and additional pages, but you got to start at the core functionality, which is let's get this set up, right? If you get this done, it's going to cover 80% of your needs, because here's what's true, okay? As much as it is, agents like to have blogs and this and other things, the consumer does not care. They don't read your blogs. Don't take that personally. They don't read them. Okay. What they want is the ability to search for real estate, clean, concise, and ease of use. KW put this out to 1 million people before they rolled it out to the agents first to see what their feedback was. Their feedback was, we want search. We care about search. We don't care about anything else. Now I understand dynamics of everything else, right? And you can start to do some of those things. Start here. Keep it simple, right? Y'all heard of KISS, right? Keep it simple.
Silly.
Yes, thank you. Y'all know what I was about to say.
Keep it simple, stupid. Yeah, no. Keep it simple. Yeah, so this is probably the better place to explain what you're doing for your most basic web page. And it does, the Kelly Guide does walk you through all of this. This is another place where you can go and change out those background images that we talked about. You can either do it through your site and app settings and do it seasonally. This would be if you're constructing your web page from the get-go and coming through here and adding those in.
Once you've done the Kelly Guide the first time, you'll never need to go in there again. You'll use those editing functions, but you should do this when you first release your website.
Yes. Company profile, you can put Keller Williams information into this one, run through all of these. Each one of these different headlines and tags, you can run through each one of those and drop all of your information into those. So if you drop down content, you can change. It doesn't have to say company profile. It can if you have a different page, different information that you want about the steps of what your company does in general, or and here you could have like
on this page a lot, right? Because as new agents, you're kind of stuck in a box. And this company profile page is generic by nature. It could be about KW. It
Yeah.
could be about your market center. It could be about your team. It could
Mm.
be about a neighborhood. Don't make it about you because you're going to have your own page next. But
Right.
this, you're not limited to profile. You can add whatever you like. What you're
Right.
limited in is space, right? So you've got that intro paragraph is 250 characters, right?
Yeah.
That header title for paragraph 1 is 500 characters and 500 characters for page 2, and the 2 pictures that you can put on there. So you're limited on character count, but you're not
Right.
limited to whatever you want to say on this page. And
Right.
then at the bottom, what I like to do where it says footer title all the way at the bottom,
Mhm.
I like to use this as just an additional information box. So what I typically put in here says areas we service or areas I service. And then for the footer paragraph, I'll type in either zip codes or the neighborhoods where I do the majority of my business.
Mhm.
That's just the way that I do it.
Right. So there's that. And then there's your last one that Dave was talking about where you're talking about yourself already. So then this is where your bio is going to go, and it should have pulled over from your marketing profile. If not, you would just drop it right in here.
Yeah, it'll pull.
Mhm. And then continue with this one. Another, see if we can continue, contact.
That contact us. Hey, would you bring my website up real quick? daviddonaldson.net.
Mhm.
So that contact page, right? So there are 2 ways to look at that. It could be generic in nature again. And then there's that information paragraph where really you're asking them to give you information about them. If you go to Let's Have Coffee. So I changed it from contact us to Let's Have Coffee.
That's cute. Yeah.
Right. Or you could say, hey, let's Zoom and have coffee, right? You have fun with the titles, right?
Mhm.
And then I changed the verbiage saying, hey, this first introduction is how to get to know each other, right? You got to meet first to talk about, can I help you? Or do I want to help you? Because you don't want to help everybody. I'm telling you that right now. And then you'll see that message. I changed the message a little bit because that message is a prompt to them when they're reaching out to you the first time to give you information about what they need. Tell me something about you. What are you looking for? Bedrooms, bathrooms, locations. What are the must-haves in a particular property? So when you receive that notification from them, because that's what you're going to get, you're going to have some background on not only who they are, but what they are and what they're looking for. So that message hint that you see on that contact us setup page, that's you talking to them saying, give me something that I can help you with.
Mhm. Okay. Questions about the process that we just went through and whether or not you guys want me to kind of show you one more time what we were doing. So site and app settings, learn more with Kelly Guide, and you're going to your agent site and you're moving on from there. And then that's where it's going to prompt you to walk through every aspect that we just covered right there. The building out, go ahead, sorry, David.
No, go ahead, you finish first.
I was gonna say the building out of the web pages in addition to that was what I had started doing to show you how you can kind of keep going with what you've already got on your preset website. You can also build out further with landing pages. And that's why I was saying, like, you can have very specific items, freemiums, information about a particular listing, things of that nature to build out landing pages attached to one specific topic. Those can come and go. Go ahead, David.
I was just gonna say, look, I'll take you back to the beginning. Nothing here is complicated, but it's different for a lot of you. You've never built a website. You're giving you information to launch a website. You're not coding. However, when you're done with everything we're doing here and you're still not sure, don't be afraid to ask questions. Go seek out your Market Center tech trainer, and they will make sure that you get all the clarity you need. We know we can't give you 100% understanding in a 1 hour time frame, and that's okay. Don't feel lost. You've got the support. You've got all the support you need.
Right. Yeah. I think that almost wraps it up. Were there, David, correct me, because this had cold. Let me pull this up real quick.
The only other thing I typically do here, Ruth, if you want to, because you have the time, if you wanted now to, I like to show them how to build an open house landing page.
Okay.
That's the one thing that probably gets utilized the most outside of launching the website. And I'll talk you through what I do if you want to drive.
Sure.
All right, guys. So a landing page is a little bit different than your website because it's a single page website, essentially is what it is. Okay. And you can do them for specific listings, which is great. But I still let my website do the lift because if I look up a property on my website, that's essentially a single property website. But I do like to use them for open houses. And this is what I do. And I'll give you my format. So let's create a new page. And we're going to create it as a landing page, which means it's going to be a standalone website. Okay. And it's going to open up that creation page that Ruth was walking you through earlier. That's a blank screen with widgets. So let's just call it open house. We'll name it open house. Okay. Maybe it's 123 Main Street, whatever. We'll just call it open house. And I'll create a new one for every open house, but you could build a template, but for some people that's easier. Now on the right-hand side, there are certain things that you have to do to be compliant. Okay. So first what I'm going to do is I'm going to put in my branded header, right? It's going to have my contact information. Actually, no, I'm sorry. Agent branding, which is great because show them how to delete that. There you go. Go to agent branding.
That's the one that I just pulled in.
Oh, then use branded header. Sorry. I thought you clicked on the branded header.
No, you're fine. Oh, it just gave me a funky one. I've got.
But again, this is just my personal choice. You can go with whoever route you want. Now, the layout that I'm going to give you here for open house is different than you might do if you're just displaying something for a listing. Okay. And there's a very specific reason. Now, next, what I'm going to do is put the contact form here. Because before I want to share that information about the property, I want to capture their information. So I'm going to go ahead and drop in that lead form widget and put that second. Now you can't edit this. What you see is what you get. We call it that WYSIWYG, right? Now below that, I'm going to drop in listing because then I do want to share the listing information. Now notice this is going to be generic for now. And then at the bottom, you have to put in your legal footer.
Where are we?
Put that at the bottom. That's going to be your brokerage information, right? That's a disclosure you have to have. Now, once you have that all ready to go, you'll see there are 4 widgets there. So on the right-hand side at the bottom, it says configure widgets. So you have to kind of fill in the blank for the rest of the information. Okay. So first, you're going to come into that first header first. You can see your name, but there's a header text that's not there. I like to put the property address there. Open house, 123 Main Street. Or just the address. Doesn't matter, right? That's me. Okay, then you're going to see your contact information. I'm going to click save and apply at the bottom of that. And now you're going to see that at the top of the page. Okay, now I'm going to go from branded header. I'm going to toggle to the next header.
Going through.
There you go. And that's link for. So instead of interested, let's talk, learn more about 123 Main Street. Save and apply at the bottom. And you'll see that immediate change, okay? Now I'll toggle to the third one, which is going to be the listing. It's going to ask you to browse the listings. You should go in and pick a listing. Ruth, put in 117 Regina Drive. Click search. Now remember, you have to hit search, and this is a national search. So if the property just matches other properties, you're going to see them around the country, okay? So make sure you pick yours specifically. So now go ahead, choose a picture there. Or you can upload it or use one. We're going to click save and apply. So that's going to be your primary photo. And it's going to update on the left-hand side. And go ahead, scroll down. What you're going to see now is that property photo is going to be there and all the property details, the description, the bedrooms, the bathrooms, the price, everything loaded. You see that? Right? And the map is going to be, once we go live, will be accurate to where it's at. So at the top now, once we hit save and apply, we're going to click publish page.
I just double clicked. Sorry, there you go.
You're fine. Sure, update it. So now the page is going to be live. Now, nobody's going to find it till you share it, right? So go ahead. Now let's go back. Okay, you're now going to see a landing page under the landing page header for open house. Now, before we open it, all the way to the right, you're going to see 3 dots, which we call ellipses or meatballs, okay, on top of spaghetti. See where it says change URL? You can change the extension on the end. You can't change the whole thing and give it a custom vanity domain, but you could change what you can change, name it after the property address. I think you have a space in there, which you can't.
I do.
Okay.
I just automatically push the space bar and separate words, but you can't have spaces.
Correct. Yeah, if you want to have spaces, you could do the underline, right? All
underscore.
right, so now you'll see that's named after the property address and it's a live link. So let's go ahead and click on that. So this, now here's what I do at the open houses. So I right click on this, I turn it into a QR code. So, and I print that off on a piece of paper, which I hang on the door of the table, the open house, so they can click on it while I'm talking to somebody else. And they start getting information about the property right away. And the first thing they do is they register. Because I tell them they have to register. COVID actually made our job a lot easier this way. Because people used to lie about things all the time. Now they have to give me their information for contact tracing, or I won't let them in the house. So use that as leverage, right?
Yeah.
So what happens is, once you go ahead and just put my information in here on this contact form. Although I may already be in your database if you want to make something.
You
else up.
probably are.
Just call it test class. Yep. I'm not a robot. And then open up your contacts real quick.
Do I need to push send though? I thought I needed to push.
Yeah.
send.
Oh, you didn't put in a number. Gotta have a phone number.
I'll just do that.
Yeah.
That is a valid one.
Sometimes it doesn't like copy and paste. You have to type it in.
I don't know why it's not letting me do it today.
Just blank it out and just type it from scratch. Guys, sometimes you'll see things happen with cookies and whatnot. Copy and paste doesn't always work the way that we want it to. And I don't know what.
Yeah, it's not letting me do it at all for some reason today.
It's possible your phone number is already in the system. But
It could be that. Mhm. I have no idea. None of those phone numbers, this phone number is certainly not in my system.
Maybe my email is one or the other. It's right. Something's
Yeah, your email is definitely in my inbox already.
possible with it. But what would happen is once you click send, it's going to pop right up in command. You're going to receive a command notification through your command app, and you're going to know right away that this person is now registered, and you can verify that information.
And it would be here.
Right. You would have that bell notification, but now because we now have command mobile or command app, it would also be on your app.
Right.
So you'll have a new live registration link on your app. So that's the way that I like to do those things. So now you can track everybody back to the open house. That's a live link. You could share that on social media. Hey, having an open house this week on 53 Main Street, click here, register, come, whatever you want to do is now specific to this property. As you scroll down a little bit, you'll just see that the property's there. That main picture is there. It's a carousel. You'll see all the pictures of the property are there. The description, the property details, they're all right there.
Mhm. It
And
doesn't.
it's all branded to you.
And then to delete. Do you want to talk about that? If we want to get rid of this page?
Yeah. So you go back. Now, if you want to go back, you can edit. So if you created a generic open house, you could just edit that and update the listings all the time if you were okay with the format, or you can just go in there and deactivate it, or you could delete it.
Yeah.
And that's it. Bye-bye. And the cool thing is you get that little leads counter. So when people, I don't delete them if they're using a live open house, right? Because then you can track the leads that came through that form. It's always good to know where your people came from.
Right.
But I love that. I love that landing page for that specific purpose.
Yeah. All right. Let me just double check because we are running a tad bit over. We did that. Okay. So your goal this week with your app, your homework for today is share with 10 people. Now that you know how to do it, whether you're doing it on social media or you're doing it directly in a text message, you want to get 10 downloads ideally this week. Coming up tomorrow, let me scan forward in this. Is designs. Don't miss designs. That's a fabulous way to learn how to do marketing within your website. You can share out videos. You can create buyer guides, seller guides. Designs is excellent. There's always new designs too that are seasonally appropriate. So you've got lots of different things for the holidays as well. Any questions before we close out today?
I hope you all learned something a little bit each day. Remember, everything is recorded.
Mhm.
Yeah. It'll be on the YouTube channel. I'll post a link there. Give us a day or two to catch up on everything, but everything gets up on our YouTube channel, and I'll share the link there. Always go back, rewatch, digest, follow it with your notes, and ask questions. Go back to your Market Center Tech Trader. I know I say it 1,000 times, don't care. They're the most important person in your world right now as you're launching your business. Whether you're new to KW or new to real estate, or just new to Command, they're the most valuable person for you to be in business with. Let me share this link real quick. And yeah, we'll have all these. They're under the playlist for December. And I'll have this up usually by tomorrow. It's in chat now. But that's it. We'll see you tomorrow. We're doing designs. Another great guest speaker. Jerry's with us tomorrow. Jerry's an awesome resource and full of information. And we will see you all at 10 a.m. tomorrow. And Ruth, thank you.
Yeah, no problem. Thanks for bearing with me in this cold. Appreciate it. You guys have a great day.
Bye,
Thank
everybody.
you so much.
Yeah.